Node alert. Node alert. Node alert.
All right, so someone else talk about Halo.
Sorry about that. Halo is a really good story for a sci-fi story. For one, they have both the video game that a lot of people have played, and then they did also go back and write books to kind of fill in before the games, during the games, in between the games.
I hear the books are really good.
They actually are. I've only read the ones that lead up to the games, because once it got to the one that was the games, it's just like, well, okay, I've already
played this.
I've already played this.
I know
this story very, very well.
I played the first two and they were really great.
Yeah, no, they were really great. I only recently caught up with 3 and 4. But it's a really good story because, for one, you have the whole aspect of the Spartan Project, which is, pretty much these kids that were taken from a young age, selected for whatever reasons. Usually, in the book, they kind of show that it's, kids that show leadership, that show, just certain qualities that they're looking for, and pretty much experimented on for the rest of their lives. And then also, like, once they're adult, you kind of see, with the AIs that are in the series, like Cortana, kind of that question of, like, well, how human are they? Because Master Chief pretty much falls in love with Cortana throughout the series. And, it really brings that whole question, around.
Yeah, what is human? Like, and I think one movie that came out last year, 2 years ago, Her.
I love Her.
I
loved Her. Yeah. God darn it.
So good. Yeah, that was a great look at, what is, like, can an AI be considered human? Like, is an AI a sentient enough being? Like, if you can fall in love with something,
a bodiless AI.
A bodiless AI. Yeah. Does that, like, what does that mean? Like, where does that take us? And one of the things that science fiction kind of looks at, too, is, like, if your consciousness does not have a body, like, if you don't have a body, are you still human?
Yeah.
That's another, not even just for sci-fi. I think that movie is amazing as a queer film because it shows a type of relationship that is not accepted and is really different and unique, but it's real, it's genuine.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a movie that, people could show in LGBT studies classes and stuff. I think it's really important for a lot of different avenues of life. I love that movie.
Yeah, I sadly have not seen it. I really want to see the movie.
I bought it knowing I would love it. I still haven't watched it because I'm an idiot.
It is really good. Because, it really does bring to question, like, if you don't have a body, like, that, it makes it very open and ambiguous to where it can pretty much, it can be anything. It can be anyone. It can,
Yeah, there's some scenes in the movie I want to talk about, but we'll just spoil it for Amy.
Brian.
Yeah, and
I think you may know. I'm probably going to be talking about is where they try to experiment.
Yeah.
So basically, the question is, are you is a person, is a sentient being, are they a sum of their experiences, or do they have to have a physical form like a physical form with a specific face to make them human? And I feel like that's something that's actually that's actually explored in, like, Orphan Black, because in that question is, when there are more than one of you, are you a person? Like, if you're a copy. And this is kind of what Blade Runner looks at too, is if you're a copy of something, are you actually sentient? Like are you actually human?
Or
there's I actually haven't seen Orphan Black, but there's also an episode of Rick and Morty that kind of touches on a similar one where you have someone that can pretty much project themselves into multiple bodies.
Oh yeah.
And so when you fall in love with that person, it's like, which one are you falling in love? It does very much.
Or is it a completely different entity?
Yeah, exactly.
Its own person separate from both of the others.
Yeah, it really does.
That reminds me of the episode of Buffy where Spike gets a robot Buffy. I've thought about this the whole time. It's like he's not in love with robot Buffy. She is just a representative of what he can't have at that part.
She's basically just a blow-up doll.
Exactly. She can't be what he loves in Buffy.
They also do that in the Venture Brothers.
Yes.
The kids, they're all like clones. I mean, we actually don't even know like how many numbers of clones there actually have been.
Because they keep dying. So good. And also with Dollhouse, the fact that if you remove their personality, their memories, and implant new ones, like which version of themselves are they really? And the fact that Echo, she did like basically had her own personality. That basically after a combo of all the personalities together, she develops her own personality that's unique from what she's had before. Like, which is the real her?
Yeah, she's no longer Caroline. She's Echo.
Yeah, those of you who haven't seen Dollhouse, you've made a mistake.
God, please watch it.
No one really watched that show. They kind of give it a lot of shit. The first 5 episodes are not very good.
They're slow.
They're slow. They're kind of formulaic. But once you hit that 6th episode, the show really picks up. And it's really, really good.
There's a lot of depth to it.
Yeah, they cram about three seasons worth of show, or 3 or 4 seasons worth of show into 26 episodes, and it does a great job of asking those questions. Is if your mind is completely erased and the body is being used to house other consciousnesses.
Conscious Nye.
Conscious Nye. Thank you.
No.
English
Other
major.
Conscious Nye. What part of you is human? Like, who are you? Are you the being that's controlling you currently, or are you something completely different?
Are you uploaded onto the computer?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And like Maren said, like Echo is developing her own identity that is outside of the person that she was. And
I said that.
Yeah, the character. Oh, you said. Oh, I think okay. Well, the 2 ladies double teamed on that one.
Son of a bitch.
What about Amy?
There's always been like a question on Star Trek where people have brought up when people use the transporters is when you use the transporters, is it the same person that comes back out?
Yeah, and I felt like The Prestige, which is in my opinion,
die like a new person.
love that movie.
is in my opinion Christopher Nolan's
seen that
best
so
movie.
long.
The Prestige. I'm gonna say it right now. That's Christopher Nolan's best movie. Batman. None of the Batman movies are. It's not Interstellar. It's the fucking Prestige.
I completely agree. I agree with you.
But that movie asks us an amazing question, which and it looks at it 2 different ways. I'm gonna go and assume that you guys have seen that movie. And if you haven't
been
seen
out
that
for a
movie,
while.
Go for a walk.
it's
Come
too
on.
fucking bad.
Crawl out from under your rock.
basically, can you have 2 people living the life of one person?
2 twins.
Are they still human?
1 set of twins.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is it possible for 2 people to live the life of one person? And then the other one is it's about the battle of wills between the 2 magicians, and essentially Hugh Jackson, the magician, ends up figuring out a way to transport himself, and every time he transports himself, all he's doing is cloning himself and then killing the other one.
He has to constantly kill himself.
Yeah, he's constantly dying every single time, and so every time he pops up again and goes through that, it's a new person, and the other one's dead, and that's fucked up.
That is fucked up. It's terrifying.
That question was asked about, like, basically, can you live the lives as multiple people in a much simpler way in the 90s in Multiplicity.
Yes,
That movie's amazing.
very true.
I loved it. I don't know if it's still good.
I still shave my tongue.
Was that number 3 or number 4?
Because number 4, it was the clone of the
3.
clone. That's why
Yes.
he was stupid.
He was number 3 of the 3rd clone. Yeah.
I think I don't think I can top. I still shave my tongue. That was pretty great. We're gonna talk about Firefly, but I feel like we don't necessarily have to. Firefly may be its own show at some point. We'll probably just do a Firefly retrospective.
Probably
and talk
should
about.
do its own show.
I know
about it for
that we did a Firefly versus Star Wars talk. Maybe we can
Yes.
bring that back and talk about that now. Here in the future. So until then, do us a favor in the comments. Sort of share with us your favorite sci-fi stuffs, whether they are books or TV shows that we may have forgotten. What sci-fi do you feel do you connect with that sort of asks these questions about what makes us human? And signing off for
Amy.
Maren.
Liam.
Brian.
This
Bye.
is Dan,
Bye.
and don't forget that nerd is a 4-letter word. Peace the fuck out.
Bye.